this is definitely an honor for me, and one interview that I have looked so forward to, and that I know that I will always remember this. I'd like to welcome Margaret Trudeau. And Margaret, just first of all, I know that your life has read like a movie from ups and downs to joy, but it is so nice to see you here, so happy and vibrant. So let's talk about you. The Margaret Trudeau today. What is she all about?
My goodness, I'm a grandmother. I'm 66 years old. I can't believe that I've gone and got old, but I'm defying it in every way I can. I have 7 grandchildren, and they're just the light of my life, and I didn't expect to have such happiness as a grandma. I didn't know that this was waiting for me. I never thought about it, but now I'm deeply in it, and I love my work. And I've just finished another book. It's coming out in the spring.
And what is it called, and what is it about?
Well, the title is we're still working on it, but what it is, it's the working title has been What's Next. And because we're such a large number of women and men, baby boomers who are becoming old, so I thought I would look all into it, every aspect of what's facing us, so that we can make good choices. Because that's certainly what I've discovered, certainly with my recovery and with speaking to people all across the country, is it really comes down to choices and having the opportunity to know what the choices are and make really informed decisions. But these are big ones, like how are you going to live, where are you going to live, how healthy you're going to be, your finances, your home, everything. And I sort of feel that we're going into a whole new wonderful freedom, but I may be wrong.
Or you may be right, and you are the best to take us into that era. But I think too, Margaret, I mean, about the past and the partying and the romances and being First Lady and raising a family, but then a realization and, realizing and admitting and coming out and talking about mental illness.
Oh yes, it's
bipolar.
Such a big part of my life. I had my first episode of bipolar depression. My first really mental issue that I had was with postpartum depression after the birth of one of my children, which is exactly typical of bipolar. And I was 23, the right age, the right time, and I was isolated and stressed as the very young wife of the Prime Minister, which I was really ill-prepared to be, but I certainly love being a mom. But it's really the years that I went through all kinds of different treatments, all different ways of coping with this large range of emotions that I have that can get me into a lot of trouble, and did. But I've had a joyous life. I've had a sad, sad life. I've had sort of a taste of everything, but really what I've come to conclude, and after what happened to me, after I just completely lost. I went mad with grief. I completely lost my hold of reality after the death of my son. And in the recovery and the process of getting the help and doing the therapy and taking the pharmaceuticals, and really what it was about was finding balance, of finding myself, not this person who rages off into highs that are just too high, or slumps so low into depression with no interest in life. And both of those stages are they're not good. The mania, unfortunately, is a lot of fun for me, but nobody else. And mania is the one that we get sort of addicted to. We like the high. So I've had to learn how to balance, how to make choices that really make sense for me, and to figure out what it is I love, where my edges are, what I need to do, what I want to do. And with the help that I've got, and it's only because of the help that I got that I was given back my life, because I really had lost it.
Well, I was curious, Margaret, because you are a famous person, and people will see you and people know your story. Do people treat you different now than they did?
They always treat me with such curiosity, because I'm not exactly cookie cutter of anything. So what I bring into as myself is somebody who's quite vibrant and full of life, but also I have a lot of compassion, because I've been through so much sadness myself, and I faced an awful lot. And I just like to link arms with other women, with my sisters, with my friends, and really look up and look forward and try and find ourselves beyond the depression, the stress, the anxiety, all the things that just totally steal our life. And certainly my story is one of hope, because but it was hard. It was hard work, and people have to take it on if they want to get better.
And family, great family support.
Indeed, yeah. Although I have found in my recovery, and I know everybody who says this, who has been through a crisis and has come out the other side, I'm always watched for signs of madness. So I have to be very careful to always, but I'm not careful at all. I just love life. I have such joy in my life, and I with the children, and I really feel a sense of power of having taken a stand and changed my mind, changed the way I think, changed the way I choose how to live. And that was the key to my recovery.
What do you want people to learn from your speeches, from your advocacy and all the things that you do?
The thing that kept me back from getting the real help, I just feel I lost. I'm not bipolar all the time. Nobody is. I have mostly, a sane life, but from time to time I can fall into deep depression, or I can climb up into mania. This used to happen to me, not anymore. But what happens is that you lose confidence, you lose yourself, you let down your family, you let down your friends. So part of the reason that you want to get better and to make the effort to get better is so that you can fit in, so that you can participate, so you can contribute, so you can be part of. Mental illness is very isolating, and we get pushed to the side often, not only in our families, but at work and in all different places. And it's really up to us. What I'm hoping to give people is the courage to stand up. And I think the shame is not having a mental disorder. So many of us do. It's having one and not seeking treatment and not getting better and not changing out of deep depression, out of sadness, a lack of interest, a lack of engagement in life, and becoming part of it. And I've had success, and I've watched other people have great success. Things have changed in the whole field of mental illness. We're now looking at the brain in a whole new way. The science and technology alone should give us hope, because we're really making breakthroughs in understanding how the brain functions. We don't know all the answers, but they're coming quite quickly now with all the new ways of looking at how the brain works, with CAT scans and PET scans and all the ways that they can measure now the brain. So it's quite exciting times we're living in. But I just want to give people hope. I want to give them courage to change, to make their life be the best you can be happy, be well. And unfortunately, I'm going to sound like an old grandmother. You have to get a good night's sleep. You have to eat good food, and you have to exercise. And if you do those three things, you'll maintain your balance and your health. But you have to get help initially. I'm a great advocate of people reaching out, and that's what this Aulneau Centre, the Renewal Centre, does. Is it's right in the community, really helping people get on their feet, start making a contribution, start being part of a good life rather than a lonely, isolated life.
Well, you definitely have reached out to all of us here in Winnipeg, and we're so happy to have you.
I'm so pleased to be here, and what a beautiful day.
It is.
It's lovely. Thank you.
Margaret Trudeau, for Backstage, I'm Tracy Koga.